all geek to me!
Hello, welcome to episode 15 of the It's All Geek to Me podcast. You know what time it is. You know it. It is now time for some geek news. Blink-182's drummer Travis Barker has shown pictures of his newborn son, Rocky 13. You heard that right, Rocky 13. Man, when Travis makes a joke, he fully commits to it, even if it means naming his kids after a movie franchise from the 80s. Seth MacFarlane returns as Ted in a prequel series on Peacock in a few weeks. I just have to call shenanigans, because if I smoke pot with a teddy bear, they send me to the psych hospital. Oasis band members Liam and Noel Gallagher had resolved their long feud. Now, if they can stop acting like assholes to everyone else in the world, they will be like real humans. Bendy and the Ink Machine is getting its own movie adaptation of the video game. Don't they know this franchise has been dead since 2017? Didn't the studio see the mess with the Five Nights at Freddy's was? Crap on a cracker. Dave Chappelle walked off stage during a show, and his reason why is for blaming the audience members who didn't follow the rules. It's his fancy way of him saying, stop being fans. Yeah, I thought I'd say that there. Now it's time for the topic. Trust me, I never thought I'd have to make another podcast episode talking about Marvel's current state of failing, but I do. I have to, especially now what happened with Majors. So this is what it's going to be about. We'll also talk about some thoughts on Loki Season 2 as well, because that review's been in the long waiting ever since my last video, which I predicted if King the Conqueror is going to stay, by the way, and it looks like he is, so we'll get into that in a minute. But first, let me talk about Loki Season 2 and some other big things that Marvel's been doing recently. Loki Season 2, right off the bat, a 10 out of 10. I just recently got a new Funko Pop, and it's Loki from Season 2 dressed for the TVA, which is awesome. Really liked it. I think Loki finally fulfilling his glorious purpose was fulfilled. And I actually like the story of how this came to be. We even got to see what everybody was before they joined the TVA. Mobius' story definitely fits. If you haven't seen it yet, there will be spoilers for this, so just to let you know. Mobius automatically is funny and what he used to be before he joined the TVA. It just fits him really well. He's a jet ski salesman, and in season 1, he was of course looking at the jet skis, and it's funny to know that he was a salesman and a father, which was insane. One of them was a doctor during the 2012 Battle of New York in the original Avengers film, which was awesome. Casey was an escape convict from an actual thing in history. I forget its name, but these people were never found after they escaped the prison. And Obi Ouroboros, that was his name. I'm sorry I forgot in that episode of the podcast, but oh my gosh, his is awesome. He was a science fiction author, and then he's like, Loki tells him, this is gonna be insane. Of course I believe you. Yeah, he believes him automatically, even though he's just like, this is gonna be insane. Loki's time slipping actually pays off in the last few episodes of the series. I like when he time slips back to Sylvie and him fighting about killing He Who Remains, and He Who Remains pauses, saying, "I've seen everything," and he says you have to change things. And Loki fulfilled his glorious purpose. He didn't send Victor Timely out there, and it was him. He went out there, and now he's the new He Who Remains. He's the god of stories. And I loved that he took the sacred timeline and made it into that, I forget the name of the religion of the Asgardians, but he made it that tree from the religion, which is awesome. And Loki just sits there. But the Kang variants are still out there, Mobius leaves, which was sad. Sylvie was good in the season. Johnathan Majors definitely was good. We'll get to his issues in a minute. But yeah, I just thought I'd say Loki Season 2, I liked it, and it was awesome. So, I'm going to check this off quick. Now it's time to talk about the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts movie, which of course is supposed to be Marvel's Suicide Squad. Of course, Harrison Ford from Star Wars, obviously. David Harper, Red Guardian, Jim Hopper from Stranger Things. It's gonna be awesome to see him back as the Red Guardian again. Bucky, of course, is going to be in it. Ghost from Ant-Man. That actually was kind of forgettable. Taskmaster, not so sure. I don't like that. But it's going to be so cool when it's done. But recently, they said the main villain of this movie is going to be Sentry, who's supposed to be Marvel's Superman. And Steven Yeun is actually supposed to play the role. And I even got my computer open so that way I can read you some of the articles. Probably not going to. I'm just going to say what I've seen. He's actually declined being Sentry. And I'm like, why, dude? Like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like, Marvel's going through a lot right now. I'm sure they're going to fix things eventually. But this has been a disaster lately. Because of the Majors trial, the outcome of the trial, the movies, the planning. Because after, like, they had it all, like, mapped out. They just were, like, going through casting issues. But right as the trial started for Johnathan Majors, it just went downhill. It just went to hell completely. It's I don't know what we're going to do. He said Steven Yeun, if I pronounce his name right, he left, of course. But he says he would like a role in the Marvel movies again at some point. You lost your chance there, buddy. You lost your chance there. You got to play a main character, and then you decline it. What kind of lazy shit is that? That's stupid. Like, why would you do that? That's stupid shit right there. Like, why would you do that? Another thing before we get into the Majors trial, Netflix has recently announced 2 days ago that they are already making their own Charlie Cox, if I did it right, their own Charlie Cox's Netflix, like their own Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again, and of course he was in the She-Hulk series, Kingpin's coming back, Echo, basically Marvel street crime fighters, basically. Now they're saying the Netflix show and all the other Netflix shows that Marvel's made, like on The Punisher and all those people, now they're canon. What the fuck happened? The fuck? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why? You're already making a Daredevil show, and it's gonna have 18 episodes. Come on, Kevin Feige, you announced this at Comic-Con. Yeah, I saw the video. I wasn't there. Wish I was. But I saw the video and all the projects that were being announced. Like Loki Season 2, Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, Thunderbolts, Avengers Kang Dynasty Secret Wars. So I saw those, and I was like, let's go! But now it looks like they're going to throw that away. And I want to see what they're going to do. But they kind of did this before with Spider-Man No Way Home. I know Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's movies aren't canon to that timeline. But in a similar way, they are. They are canon in a similar way. Because, well, they come from those universes now intertwined with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So those movies are now banded together for life. So, I just thought I'd say what I thought about that, just in their own right. Now, the big one, you already know what it is. I've said it a few times. Johnathan Majors found guilty. This is probably bad. Alright, so we all probably knew this was coming eventually during the trial. Of course, Johnathan Majors was convicted of hitting and abusing his girlfriend or his ex-partner. And he was just recently found guilty, and then Marvel dropped him, and he was dropped by a bunch of other projects. Honestly, I'm upset. Okay, honestly, I've also seen the footage. A lot of people also blame Jabari. That's her name, by the way. A lot of people blame Jabari for of the assault because they said early on in the trial she inflicted more damage than he did. But looking at what he did, that's probably not the case. Johnathan Majors, I even searched this up. Johnathan Majors was getting like flirtatious texts from another lady or another woman, and Jabari tried taking the phone away. He, of course, had to get her away. And then I saw the footage too. We'll even put it, I'll even like say, like, I'm not gonna show the footage, but I'm just being like, oh, I saw it, he was running away, and people were like, no, he didn't do it, obviously, it was Jabari. Well, I have to probably disagree. If Johnathan Majors just gave the phone, and if it wasn't caught in public, and he didn't abuse the woman, then he would have had his stuff back. Now, I'm not saying everybody, like, he's not abusive, like, and the woman too, they're not abusive, but in this case, it was just a weird incident that happened, and Johnathan Majors was cheating, probably. So, yeah, he's guilty, obviously. He even knocked her out, and they show police cam footage of what happened, and I'm just like, yeah, this is bad. It's bad. And this sucks, because Johnathan Majors is a great actor, and like, when 2020 started, of course, this was after Endgame ended, and everybody thought, is Marvel done? Is Marvel done with their projects? Is it done with the saga? Oh, no. They're not done. On Disney Investor Day 2020, they announced a lot of projects, and what we didn't know at the time was that Loki Season 1 was going to introduce the new big bad of the multiverse saga and the next saga in the MCU. And sure enough, they did. They introduced Kang, they introduced Johnathan Majors as He Who Remains, that variant, and they introduced it. And he was supposed to be this new big bad, who was Nathaniel Richards. Again, he's a relative of Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards. He was the guy who founded all these universes, and they all talked and had peace, and then they all started going to war with each other over their worlds. And He Who Remains stopped the war, created the sacred timeline, and it all went from peace to there. Then, of course, Sylvie kills him, and now the variants are coming back. Now we get to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about for, like, the MCU, showing Kang. Then we get to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and we see Kang the Conqueror, that variant. In the quantum realm, we learn that she was friends with Hank and Hope, like Hank's wife, Hank Pym, was friends with Kang the Conqueror while in there. And we learned that he was a variant, and of course they fight him. Ant-Man is technically the first Avenger, technically, to fight Kang. And they were setting this up, because at the end of the movie, the post-credit scene, you see all the Kangs. Rama Tut, I think, is one of them. Yeah, Rama Tut. I forget the other two. But they all talk about it, and one of them says they're beginning to touch the multiverse. They're taking everything we built, so let's stop wasting time. We're late. And then one of them says, how many did you call? All of us. So when they're saying they're beginning to touch the multiverse, he must be talking about the Avengers. And, of course, Ant-Man, Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, he faced Kang. He killed him. He's dead. And now they're upset, and all the Council of Kangs, all of them just, like, cheering for one another. They all come together, and they're all ready to fight. They're ready to fight. Like, this is now, of course, John Majors' last Kang appearance is, of course, the Loki Season 2 playing Victor Timely, and, of course, He Who Remains again. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. This is very confusing. Kang Dynasty, and the Secret Wars. Kang, many people were shocked that Johnathan Majors was guilty. Everybody's like, oh no, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And many people thought they were going to get rid of Kang, even when the trial was happening, but they couldn't. even if they wanted to, it would just be a whole nother dumpster fire because they already set him up. They had his story from start to finish, and it was just going to be a mess. So even if they did try to figure this out, then it would still be insane. It would just still be insane. Kang Dynasty was reportedly changed to Avengers 5 just actually last week. No, wait, the week before Christmas vacation, we found out about it, and I was like, okay, so what's happening here? So, I don't know what they're going to do about Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but Kang is going to stay, everybody. Again, I don't know if I have to clarify this. I don't know if all of you have seen this, but Kang is staying in the MCU. He is staying. Marvel's confirmed that. Kevin Feige has confirmed that as well. He's staying. So Kang's not going anywhere. Doctor Doom is not coming in as his replacement. It's not going to be Galactus. It's not any of those people yet. It's not any of those people. We're still doing. Who could replace him? There is one actor, who I forget his name, who could play him. He's in the media recently, but I don't think he's a good choice. There's another person who could play him, and in my opinion, he is, if I pronounce his name right, John Boyega, the guy who played Finn in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Now, you may be throwing things at your screen or tearing up your computers or phones or iPads or Apple products or Android products or whatever you're watching this on, but I think he's a good choice. And also, Marvel is partnered up with Star Wars. Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man and is now directing The Mandalorian with Dave Filoni, and John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man Tom Holland trilogy, is even in connection with them. Their connection with Star Wars. Talos is, of course, played by Ben Mendelsohn, who is director Krennic in Rogue One, for crying out loud. You can't get better than that. I think John Boyega is a good choice. He kind of looks like Kang, and I think that would be awesome. He was great as Finn in Star Wars. I think that'd be awesome. A lot of people suggested also, like, what about Michael B. Jordan? But Michael B. Jordan couldn't do that because Michael B. Jordan already played Eric Killmonger or N'Jadaka in Black Panther. And Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And it would just be so weird. It'd be weird to have them happen like that. There was also rumors saying, like, how there's going to be another Avengers film. And a lot of people predicted Leonardo DiCaprio was going to play Iron Man. I don't think so. No. Back to majors. I think John Boyega would be a great replacement choice. He looks like Kang. Kind of does. And it would be perfect. He'd be a perfect choice. Obviously, he'd be a perfect choice. But you can just throw your computer out the window or iPad out the window. You can break it. You can say, Sawyer, what are you talking about? I don't think he could be good. But I don't care. I don't care what you think. That's my opinion. I think John Boyega is a good choice. He was great as Finn in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I know the Star Wars sequel trilogy sucks, but he was great as Finn in that movie. Those movies. He was great as Finn, in my opinion. He was great. But can Marvel fix things? Can Marvel fix itself at this moment? Well, they're currently doing that. They of course have to find a replacement actor for Kang. They're fixing a lot of the movies recently. Of course, they're still fixing Blade with Mahershala Ali, which makes sense. They're fixing Fantastic Four. A lot of people were confused by the casting choice, and just a few months ago, they reported that, Pedro Pascal is going to play Reed Richards. I don't see it. Another Star Wars actor who was even offered for the role was Adam Driver, the guy who played Kylo Ren in the movie and was in the movie 65, for crying out loud. I think he would have been a great Reed Richards, in my opinion. I know many years of fan casting wanted John Krasinski to play him, and we got that. But that's a different version of Reed Richards. This is the MCU's version, the main universe. And I think that would have been so cool. I think that would be so cool if Adam Driver played Reed Richards. I just see him as Reed Richards, in my opinion. They also said, like, if I pronounce this right, her name right, Dakota's her first name, and I think Banning, I believe is her last name. Yeah, hate in the comments all you want. But I'm just saying that for now. Of course, she played Sally in the 2003 The Cat in the Hat. A lot of people thought it was going to be her who would play the Invisible Woman, but it looks like it's not her anymore. So they're still bickering about all that. So Marvel has to fix itself. With their newest releases, like the Thunderbolts, which will be out soon, Captain America, New World Order, with Sam, Anthony Mackie's Captain America, Echo. They have to fix itself because recently their movie, The Marvels, did not do very good. I didn't even go to see the movie in theaters. I was going to stay away from it because it looks like a lot of the fan base is hating Miss Marvel, which makes sense. But, like, for teenagers, in this case, for Marvel, Tom Holland, Peter's a teenager, but he's not like that loud, obnoxious teenager. Because we see him grow. Like, in Civil War, he was like, oh, okay, he was himself. But then, and of course, in Homecoming, he was still a little bit of that self. But then when you see him in Infinity War, he's matured, he knows about crime fighting more, and he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. He even talks to Tony about it. And then, of course, in Endgame, he literally saves the universe. Far From Home, he learns more. And then in No Way Home, he's by himself again. And he learns more. And even loses his friends in the process. That's a lot to take in. So, Marvel, I think, can fix itself. They have the potential. They have it. They just gotta do it right. Future films, of course, look good. Everything looks good. They're just working it out. I hope things do not go to hell with the Kang Dynasty and the, of course, Secret Wars. That's supposed to be 2 years away. In fact, Kang Dynasty was supposed to come out next year in 2025. It's not 2024. But it was supposed to come out next year, which sucks. And I think Secret Wars was supposed to come out in the same year. Now there's even talk there's going to be a third movie. Because Infinity War, when that was coming out, it was called, of course, Infinity War Part 2, but then when that was over, they told everybody, oh, it's called Endgame. And, of course, that's one of the best superhero films of all time, coming together. So, yeah, Marvel needs to fix itself. Of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that was pretty good, actually. Of course, we lost most of the Guardians because of what's going on with the Chris Pratt and Bradley Cooper drama. Yeah, that's what's happening there. And of course, what can Marvel do? I don't know. Like, Marvel's going through a long process right now. But what I've just mentioned, hopefully they will fix itself. I hope you guys agree. Like, John Boyega, I think he's an okay choice for Kang the Conqueror. Of course, there's other good young black actors out there that are very good as well. And I support their work. And I don't know. It's just like, I don't think... It's just complicated. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where they're going to go. Because now, after Majors is found guilty, their lead star now of the villains is gone. They had to drop him. He's gone. And they don't know what to do. Marvel is... This is like Fast and the Furious 7 after Paul Walker died. Paul Walker died, or production was reportedly delayed. They had to figure out the direction of the film. They had to make everybody comfortable coming back to work. They were pounding their brains, pretty much. They were thinking about the franchise. They were thinking about number 7 in the franchise, but they're thinking about 7, 8, and 9. They were thinking about those as well. They were thinking about merchandising. Do they cut them out of the movie? That's what Marvel's thinking of. Do they cut them out of the movie? Do they get a body double? Try to fake it? That's probably what they're doing right now, just like Universal did when Paul Walker died in 2013 for Fast and the Furious 7. So yeah, Marvel's pounding their brains this week. So this is the last few weeks, I should say. They're pounding their brains. Kevin Feige, being the president of Marvel must be hard because, yeah, obviously it must be hard. But this is probably stuff they're just pounding their brains for this week. So it's going to be complicated for what they're going to do. That is all for It's All Geek to Me. I never thought I really had to do a part in this podcast episode or video, but I had to do it. Of course, Majors was found guilty. I even talked about this in my Loki episode 1 review of the podcast. Go watch it, by the way. And this is not good. Marvel's declining, basically. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. This is going bad. This is going bad. Majors found guilty. Yep. This is just holy shit, dude. But yeah, that's all for today on It's All Geek to Me. Thank you all for watching, and thank you again for people watching the BattleBots episode from last week. Thank you so much. That video is at currently 158 views. Thank you again to Mitchell Sullivan and Johnny Supas for being in that video. We've got some guests coming up. There was supposed to be a Minecraft episode with the Brain Trust again, but that video turned out very terribly. So we're gonna do another. I'm gonna do another one, but it's gonna be with another person, just the two of us talking about it. So look out for that. There will be some guests coming on soon. It's just like after those 2 weeks of getting ready for Christmas vacation, and also the week before Christmas, my family lost power. So that was another downhill side. So yeah, but thank you all for being patient and watching that episode when it came out. So thank you all for being very patient. It was worth the wait, probably to all of you. I hope it was worth the wait. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching this week of It's All Geek to Me. Let's hope, crossing your fingers, everybody, hoping Marvel fix itself. Let's hope they fix themselves. They better fix themselves. Alright, that's all for It's All Geek to Me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep on being geeky, and this is just a space to be nerdy. Geeks don't die.
It's all geek to me!